Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my lecture. So, in this lecture, today we shall discuss about the physico-mechanical properties of rocks. So, physico-mechanical properties of the rocks are generally used to know the properties of the intact rocks and discontinuities, and is highly complex and very difficult to get an accurate value. Hence, it requires being determined directly in the in situ condition. Knowledge about engineering properties of rock specimens, intact rocks, is of course just a part to realize global rock mass behavior. Rock exhibit various engineering properties such as physical properties and mechanical properties. So before starting a mine, so we have to know the properties of rocks just uh, to know what type of supporting we should do. We should apply for uh, the mine openings. This includes two properties, physical and mechanical properties. So coming to the physical properties of rocks, there are some properties like petrography, porosity, density, moisture content, degree of saturation, water absorption, permeability, thermal properties, swelling, anisotropy, seismic wave velocity, glossiness, reflectivity, and at last, electrical properties. So these are the physical properties of the rocks. By seeing the rocks, we can say these properties. And coming to the mechanical properties, we have the following properties like strength, durability, deformability, static elasticity and plasticity, hardness, abrasiveness, creep, modulus of rupture, and flexural strength, dynamic strength and modulus, combination characteristic, impact resistance, weathering, rock fracture toughness, strength indices, energy absorption, squeezing. So these are the properties. These are the mechanical properties of rocks. So generally, when load acts on a rock, so these are the following properties having on a rock. So coming to the physical property, the first one. So there are the proper. These are the properties of the material inherited at the time of formation. These help in classifying a rock material. So based on the physical properties also, we can classify the rock material. These are also called index properties of rock specimen. So at the time of formation of the rock, so these properties of the material are inherited at the time of formation. So these so that's why this is also these type of rocks are also called as index properties of a rock specimen. The first one of among the physical properties is petrography. The mineral content and the textural relationship within the rock are described in this petrography. The mineral content and the textural relationships within the rock are described in detail during the petrographic study. So, petrography is nothing but to study the relationship within the rock and are described in detail. Petrographic descriptions includes megoscopic description, microtexture, structure, and chemical analysis of rock. A petrographic description of rock is important in order to understanding the origin of rock, highlight features and influencing its chemical, physical, and mechanical behavior. The properties are useful to establish technical name of the rock, to identify the texture and microfractures. So coming to the next one, porosity. So porosity identifies the relative proportion of solids and voids. So we also know that a rock sample may have pores, that means empty voids in the rock. So the porosity of a rock sample is defined as the ratio of the volume of voids to the total volume of the sample. So when we take a specific volume of the sample, so in that rock we also has some voids. So class రికార్డ్ చేయమన్నారు. జూమ్ మీటింగ్ రికార్డ్ చేయమన్నారు సార్. సైన్ సార్. తెలియదు. ఆ. So the porosity of the rock sample is defined as the ratio of the volume of voids to the volume of the sample. So the formula is given as VV by V into 100, where VV is the volume of the void and V is the total volume of the sample. So by this formula, we can find the porosity of the rock sample. The porosity of the rock material is a measure of water holding capacity. So if the porosity is high, so then the water holding capacity of the rock is high. And if the porosity in the same manner, so when the porosity is less, the water holding capacity of the rock will be also less. And the next one is density. Density is defined as a mass per unit volume of the rock. Depending upon the requirement, the density may be expressed as dry density, bulk density, or saturated density. So density, uh, simply we can say that it is a ratio of mass per unit volume of the rock. So coming to the density, so we have three types of densities. One is dry density, bulk density, and the last one is saturated density. Dry density refers to the mass per unit volume when the rock mass is completely dry. So the pores, the whatever the voids present in the rock sample, so the empty voids are completely dry. So dry density refers to mass per unit volume when the rock mass is completely dry. So whatever the mass a rock sample is having, so it is per unit volume. It is called as dry density. Coming to the bulk density refers to the mass per unit volume in normal condition, which means that the rock's mass may contain some liquid and some air in its pores. So in this case, whatever the voids are having in the rock, so that voids are partially filled with liquid and some air. So this bulk density is same like uh, mass per unit volume in normal condition. Saturated density. So saturated density refers to the mass per unit volume when the rock is fully saturated. That means complete with the whatever the voids present in the rock sample, the voids are completely filled with water. Moisture content. Moisture content of the rock samples is defined as the ratio of the weight of water in the voids to the weight of dry solids in the sample. So it is the ratio of weight of the water in the voids and weight of the total sample. And the formula is given as W by WS into 100, where M is the moisture content in percentage and WW is the weight of water, WS is the weight of the solid rock sample. An excess natural moisture content gives an indication that the rock sample is more porous, making it less strength. So if the moisture content is more, so it is showing that indication that the rock sample is more porous, which means it is having more number of voids in the rock sample. And also, if the rock sample is having more moisture content, that means it is having lesser strength. Degree of saturation. Degree of saturation is defined as the volume of water in the void to the total volume of voids in the rock samples. So degree of saturation is nothing but, so simply uh, it is a total, it is a ratio of whatever the water present in the void to the total volume of void. So degree of saturation in percentage S is equal to VW by VV into 100, where VV is the volume of void and VW is the volume of water. And the rock having higher porosity has higher degree of saturation if it lies below water table. So if the rock sample is having more uh, porosity, that means it is having the tendency to absorb more amount of water when it is underwater. When it is under the water table. Permeability. Permeability is nothing but permeability refers to the ability of a porous material to allow a liquid to pass through its pores. Since the pores are connected with each other, the flow of liquid takes place through the pores. If there is difference in head at the two ends of the sample, so permeability is nothing but whenever we suppose if we take a rock sample, uh, if it is having the ability to allow liquid to pass through them, so then it is having the property of permeability. So since the pores are connected with each other, the flow of a liquid takes place through the pores, and the pores whatever the two ends of the rock should have the head difference so that liquid is easy to pass. Darcy has proposed the following equation for flow of liquid through a porous mass. The permeability is the permeability formula is given as Q equal to KIA, where I is the hydraulic gradient and K is the constant of proportionality, which is known as the coefficient of permeability. So coming to the next one, seismic wave velocity. When a dynamic load is applied to rock, the various seismic waves are generated. The seismic body waves are known as P waves and S wave. P wave velocity is a compressional waves involving alternating compression and rarefactions of a medium and is transmitted through rock. The particle motion is in the direction of wave propagation. S wave shear wave propagates in vertical and horizontal direction. Some of the commonly known surface waves are Rayleigh wave, Love wave, Stoneleigh wave, guided wave, etc. The property is useful to assess the dynamic properties, ground vibration due to dynamic load, soundness of the rock block, and to select the suitable blasting and splitting techniques. So this is the figure showing the seismic wave velocities and various types of waves. Seismic waves are P wave and S wave. The next one is glossiness or reflectivity. Glossiness or reflectivity is the ratio of reflected to the incident light times 1000 for specified apertures of illumination and reception when the axis of reception coincides with the mirror image of the axis of illumination. The property is useful to determine the capacity of surface to reflect more light in some directions than in others. So it is generally uh, referred as defined as it is the property is, a, is the capacity of the surface to reflect more light when some light falls on the surface of the rock sample. So this property is useful to determine the capacity of the surface to reflect more light in some directions than in others. Electrical properties. Electrical properties are of the interest mostly in a geological prospecting, where electrical resistivity methods are used. Most of the rocks are dielectrics, and hence measurements of dielectric constants are done for interpretation of the data. This property is also of importance in prospecting of groundwater resources because due to the presence of water in the pores of the rock. The dielectric properties of the rocks change sharply and hence interpretation of the data is done for the location of groundwater reservoirs. Thermal properties. Thermal properties are of more importance to the engineers, especially for tunnels and other underground openings for estimating geothermal gradient and hence heat from the rock at workplace. So we should know the thermal properties of the rocks because whenever the tunneling operations or mining operations carried out in the underground, so we may know that the geothermal gradient uh, and heat from the rock at work. To know about the geothermal gradient and the rock, the heat from the rock at workplace, so we should know the thermal properties of the rocks. The property is also useful to access suitability of dimensional stone for use in several environments and temperature extremes. Thermal expansion may be taken as a measure for the linear deformation after exposure to a given sequence of temperatures. Increase in temperature of the rock of a frequent change in the rock temperature makes it weaker due to the formation of cracks in the rock samples. So, increase in temperature and when the rock is exposed to the temperature and heat for a longer period, and frequent change of rock temperature makes it so weak, and also it forms cracks in the rock formations and the rock becomes weak. Swelling. Swelling in general is defined as an increase in volume of the mass due to suction of water or due contact of water for a longer time. So swelling is generally defined as when the rock sample is in contact with water for a longer period of time. So it absorbs the water due to the presence of pores or the voids in the rock sample. So it will absorb some water, and uh, the volume of the mass of the rock sample is increased. So this phenomena is called as swelling. When there is an excavation in the rock mass, the confining stress reduces at that site, which can cause an increase in suction pore, causing an increase in volume. So during the excavation of the rock samples, so the stresses, whatever the stresses in the in situ condition are diverted, and and also the suction in the pore also increases, which also increases the amount of water in the pores. This increase in volume sometimes causes cracks inside the rock mass. So when the water enters into the pores, so the volume increases, and also sometimes it also causes the formation of cracks and pores inside the rock mass. Again, a suction pressure causes sometimes splitting in the sedimentary rocks at the bedding plane. If the cementing force is not sufficient, swelling is found to be more in weaker type of rocks. Hence, swelling is related with the unconfined compressive strength of the rock. With increasing value of unconfined compressive strength, the tendency of swelling reduces. So, generally, the weaker type of rocks, uh, we can see more swelling. So, which means the pores are more in weaker types of rocks like the clays, shales, marls, and mudstones have the greater tendency of swelling because it is having uh, more number of pores in which the absorption of water, when it is in contact with the water for a longer time, the absorption of water is more. Anisotropy. Anisotropy means due to the sequence in formation, a rock mass may not be isotropic. It may be anisotropic due to the existence of bedding planes in three axes. But anisotropic material has some weakness in a particular direction or axis. Especially in sedimentary rocks, degree of anisotropy is more. Due to anisotropy, a rock mass has different properties along the plane of weakness. Hence, it is necessary to know the plane of weakness. So, by this, we discussed about the physical properties. So, once again, we shall uh, go for the list of physical properties which are having. So, in physical properties, we are having petrography, porosity, density, moisture content, degree of saturation, water absorption, permeability, thermal properties, swelling, anisotropy, seismic wave velocity, glossiness, and or reflectivity, electrical properties. So now we shall go for the mechanical properties and in mechanical properties. So generally mechanical properties are mechanical properties of rocks are helpful for an engineer to fix the design parameters for opening in rock or rock mass. The most important mechanical property of rock and rock mass is the strength. Knowing the strength of the rock or the rock mass a load to be carried by it can be determined. So when the load is applied to the rock formation, the deformation should be within the limit, and for this, deformability of the rock is to be known. A knowledge of elastic and plastic properties helps in analyzing the stability opening in rock or rock mass. So generally mechanical properties are helpful for a person or the mining engineer to fix the parameters, like whenever we are uh, opening a narrow roadway or the gallery in the underground. So whatever the supports or whatever the load it is acting on the rock or the roof or sides of the pillar, so etc. are to be known by studying the mechanical properties of the rocks. So in mechanical properties, in so coming to the loads, so we should have a knowledge of elastic and plastic properties, so which helps in analyzing the stability of opening in rock or rock mass. The mechanical properties of the rock is very much depend on their physical environment. So mechanical properties are all of the rock also influences the physical environment. Physical environment are due to the natural forces and human influences that require more consideration in engineering problems. Physical environments are due to natural factors like geology, ambient stresses, and hydrology. So it depends on the geology, the formation of rock, and the stresses acting on the rock, and the presence of water bodies, or when the rock is in contact with the hydrology.